Okay, let's set the scene. Rome, 37 CE. Imagine it. The empire gets a new ruler, crowds are going wild, the Senate is, well, maybe breathing a sigh of relief for a bit.
And this young guy, he's right at the heart of it all, about to kick off one of the most, let's say, memorable reigns in history.
We're talking about Gaius, Julius Caesar, Augustus Germanicus, but really everyone knows him or maybe kind of dreads him as Caligula.
Yeah, and his time on the throne, it was short, just 1,400 days, not even 4 full years.
But wow, what a whirlwind. It was all spectacle, some pretty shocking cruelty, and just scandal after scandal.
Absolutely. It's a period that still grabs people, doesn't it? Historians, anyone really interested in Rome.
Right.
It's just fascinating and kind of horrifying all at once.
And that's exactly what we want to do in this deep dive. Think of it as your shortcut to getting the core story of Caligula's time as emperor.
Well, look at how he started out so popular, surprisingly so, then this really confusing transformation, and of course his very dramatic, very violent end.
Yeah, we've dug into the main sources for you folks like Suetonius, Tacitus, Cassius Dio, Philo, the ancient writers.
And we're mixing that with what modern scholars think, too, to give you, a rounded picture.
So let's dive in and try to unpack this extraordinary figure.
Right. So when he takes power, he's young, only 24, and Rome, they genuinely thought he was the golden boy.
And you can see why, can't you? He wasn't just anybody. He was Germanicus' son.
Exactly. Germanicus, this hugely beloved general. I mean, even after he died, just saying his name could get the legions emotional. The hope pinned on his son was immense.
And it sounds like his early life really helped build that image.
Oh, for sure. He basically grew up in army camps, apparently charmed the soldiers, toddling around in little military boots.
Ah, so that's where the nickname comes from, Caligula.
Yeah, little boot. It sounds affectionate, doesn't it? Made him seem less like some distant noble and more like, well, one of the guys.
And he really played that up when he became emperor, didn't he? Those first few months.
Textbook public relations, almost. He got rid of taxes people hated, freed political prisoners, brought back exiles.
And through those massive games everyone loved, the city was eating it up.
Suetonius really nailed the mood.
How?
He wrote that people felt like the heavens had opened and sent them a god in human form. Serious adoration.
But that feeling, that incredible optimism, well, that was before the fever.
Ah, yes, the fever. That's the real turning point, isn't it?
It seems like it. October 37 CE, he gets incredibly sick.
The ancient writers just call it a fever. Modern scholars, they throw around ideas like encephalitis, maybe epilepsy. Some even wonder about poison. We don't really know for sure.
He pulls through physically, but something's different after all.
Totally different. Politically, personally.
Yeah.
It's like the charm wore off, or maybe it was always there underneath. One writer said he now had teeth.
That's evocative. And historians often point right to this illness, don't they, as the moment the good Caligula started becoming the tyrant.
Yeah, it's the pivot point in almost every narrative of his reign. The
Yeah.
before and the very different after.
And those teeth came out pretty quickly.
Ruthlessly so. Take Macro, the Praetorian prefect. This is the guy who basically ran the emperor's personal guard, and he'd actually helped Caligula get the throne.
Right, you'd think he'd be safe.
You'd think. But nope. One day he's in favor, the next, boom. Him and his wife accused of treason, ordered to kill themselves.
Wow, just like that.
And it sets this pattern, you see. Ruthless consolidation. Senators who maybe didn't cheer loud enough, suddenly they're plotting against him.
Convenient.
Very convenient. And wealthy aristocrats.
Yeah.
Same deal. Executed, and guess where their money goes?
Straight into the emperor's coffers, I bet.
Exactly. Refilling the treasury. And historians like Tacitus and Cassius Dio, they hint pretty strongly that a lot of these plots might have been, well, manufactured.
Just excuses to get rid of people and grab their cash.
Seems likely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A way to eliminate threats and fund his other activities.
Which brings us to the performance aspect. You said he didn't just rule Rome, he performed it.
Oh, absolutely. Rome became his stage. Everyone else was just the audience, whether they liked it or not.
So the games weren't just games.
And not just games. Gladiator contests with exotic animals, sure, but then he might stop everything for a poetry reading. Chariot races that went on for days. Constant spectacle.
And the cost must have been insane.
Astronomical. Suetonius says in just 1 year, he burned through 2.7 billion sesterces.
Which is a lot.
It's like the entire annual income of several provinces combined. He basically bankrupted the state.
Just on shows and parties.
And grand gestures. Remember that bridge of boats he built across the Bay of Bay? Miles long.
Why?
Just so he could ride his horse across it, apparently to disprove some prophecy
Yeah.
that said he had as much chance of becoming emperor as riding a horse across the bay. Pure theater.
And the banquets, old flecked bread, flamingo tongues.
Pearls dissolved in vinegar. It's all about demonstrating absolute, over-the-top, untouchable power. Money was no object because, well, he was Caligula.
Speaking of untouchable power, the whole god complex thing, that seems like a big step.
A huge step. Emperors before him, like Augustus, were super careful about divine stuff while they were alive. Maybe hinted at it, but very subtly.
Caligula wasn't subtle.
Not at all.
Yeah.
He straight up said he was a god, declared himself Apollo one day, Mercury the next, even Venus sometimes.
He just decided he was a god.
Pretty much. And he expected people to act accordingly. Wanted his statues put in temples, wanted sacrifices made to him.
Okay, that's pushing it.
And then there was the order for that giant golden statue of himself to be placed in the temple in Jerusalem.
Oh, wow. That would not have gone down well.
Understatement of the year. Ancient writers basically say it would have caused a massive rebellion if he hadn't been unexpectedly assassinated before it could happen.
Did people think he was just playing a role, or did he actually believe it?
Sources like Philo and Cassius Dio, people who were around then, they suggest he genuinely bought into it. He really thought he's a living god. The line between political power and divinity just blurred completely for him.
Which maybe explains the horse, Incitatus.
Incitatus, yes, the famous horse. And this wasn't just any horse, mind you.
What? Did it have special treatment?
Special is putting it mildly. Marble stall, ivory manger, purple blankets, that's imperial purple, a collar studded with jewels.
Okay, that's excessive for a horse.
But wait, there's more. Suetonius claims Caligula actually planned to make Incitatus a consul.
A consul, like one of the highest officials in Rome. A horse.
That's the story. Now, was he serious? Or was it maybe the ultimate insult?
How so?
Well, think about it. By suggesting his horse could be consul, what's he saying about the actual human senators?
His horse could do their job just as well, or maybe even better.
Exactly. It's this incredible act of political mockery, isn't it? Just dripping with contempt for the Senate and all the old traditions. It really shows how he saw them.
It's almost performance art again, in a way.
A very pointed, very insulting piece of performance art, yeah.
Okay, so we've got extravagance, delusions of divinity, insulting the Senate with a horse.
Yeah.
What about the military campaigns? Did he actually do anything there?
Well, there's the infamous incident in 40 CE. He marches the legions up to the coast of Gaul. Looks like he's all set to invade Britain.
Right, a big military objective. Makes sense.
The troops are there, fully armed, ready to go across the channel. And then Caligula gives this really bizarre order.
What? Did he call it off?
Worse, he told them to collect seashells.
Collect seashells instead of invading Britain.
Yep. Gather seashells from the beach. And then he called them the spoils of the sea, as if they'd won some great naval victory.
Okay, that's weird. What did people make of that?
Back in Rome, the Senate probably saw it as more proof he was completely mad. Or maybe some kind of twisted joke.
And the soldiers must have been confusing.
Utterly baffling, you'd imagine. Here they are, ready for battle, and they're picking up shells. Even now, 2,000 years later, historians are still scratching their heads. Was it madness? A bizarre performance? A way to humiliate the army? We just don't know.
It just adds to the whole puzzle of the man, doesn't it?
Definitely. Another layer of baffling behavior.
So, with all this going on, the spending, the executions, the god complex, the weird military stunts, it's probably not surprising that people started turning against him.
Not surprising at all. By 41 CE, he had enemies everywhere, even, crucially, inside his own Praetorian Guard.
A guy's supposed to protect him.
Exactly. And the ringleader, a tribune named Cassius Chaerea, high-ranking officer.
Why did he turn? Just the general madness.
Partly that, probably, but the sources say Chaerea had a personal grudge too. Apparently, Caligula constantly made fun of his voice, calling it soft or effeminate.
So personal insult layered on top of everything else.
Seems like it was the final straw. The plot came together, and they chose their moment during the Palatine Games.
How did they do it?
They cornered him in a secluded passage, sort of underneath the theater area. Chaerea struck first, then the others piled in.
It was brutal.
Extremely. Stabbed over 30 times, according to the accounts.
And that was it? Just him?
No. The assassins, or maybe others taking advantage of the chaos, quickly moved to kill his wife, Caesonia, and their young daughter, too.
Oh, wow. To wipe out the line completely.
That seems to have been the goal. No heirs left. Such a stark contrast, isn't it? The man who called himself a god, dying like that on a dirty floor.
A very undignified end for someone claiming divinity.
Absolutely.
So, Caligula's dead. What happens next? Chaos.
A definite crisis. The Senate actually started talking about maybe, just maybe, restoring the Republic, getting rid of emperors altogether.
Seriously, after decades of emperors.
It was on the table, briefly, but the Praetorian Guard, they weren't having any of it. Their power depended on having an emperor.
So they stepped in.
They did. Famously, they found Caligula's uncle, Claudius, who everyone thought was kind of unassuming, maybe even a bit dim, hiding behind a curtain, terrified.
Hiding?
Yeah, and they just grabbed him and declared him the new emperor. End of discussion about the Republic.
So the system protects itself.
Pretty much. And then came the official reaction to Caligula.
They couldn't just move on, could they?
No way. The Senate issued a damnatio memoria.
Which means
Condemnation of memory. It's an official decree to basically erase someone from history. His name chiseled off monuments, his statues smashed, his laws potentially revoked.
trying to pretend he never existed.
Exactly. A total cancellation, Roman style. But here's the irony.
What's that?
By trying so hard to erase him, to officially condemn him and wipe him out, they actually made him unforgettable.
How so?
Well, the very act of trying to erase someone makes people ask why. It highlights the person, focuses attention on them. The damnatio memoria, in a weird way, kind of cemented his infamy, made sure we'd still be talking about him 2,000 years later.
Huh. That is ironic. The harder they tried to forget him, the more memorable he became.
Precisely. His erasure paradoxically ensured his immortality in history, just maybe not the kind he wanted when he was claiming to be Jupiter.
So looking back at those 1,400 days, it really is a spectacle, isn't it? A warning, maybe, and definitely still a puzzle.
Absolutely, all three. He's this figure that just keeps drawing us in, making us ask questions.
And the big one always seems to be, was he actually mad? Clinically insane.
Or was he perhaps, in some twisted way, rational? Were these acts, however cruel or bizarre, calculated political moves? And how much of the madness narrative comes from those hostile sources, the people who had every reason to paint him as a monster after he was gone?
Right, the victors, or at least the survivors, write the history.
Exactly. The sources present this paradox. Yes, the cruelty and the megalomania look like instability, but many actions also served clear political goals: getting power, removing rivals, projecting this image of absolute godlike authority.
So the question isn't just if he was mad, but maybe also how that story of madness got constructed and used by those who followed him.
That's a key part of puzzling him out, I think.
2 millennia on, we're probably never going to have the definitive answer about what was truly going on in Caligula's head.
Likely not. The evidence is just too fragmented, too biased.
But you have to admit, in the grand theater of Roman history, his act, though incredibly short, was explosive and completely impossible to ignore. He leaves us with this really complex, disturbing figure to think about.